Welcome to Eagle Spire Gaming. I'm your host, Crown, and today is October 15th. It is the third episode of the Great Penance. I have finished my Malcadors, and we have some a teaser from GW on the new Escalation game mode for Legions Imperialis. We've got a lot of models to cover, so let's get started. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the content, subscribe, and if you have an opinion, comment below. So, let's talk about Escalation League before we get into the Malcadors. 10 feet by 6 feet. That is the map size that they have leaked, that they have shown us in their new article that went up today. And it is a huge game. Looking at it, you've got three defenders, 3 deployment zones for the defender. They are spread out across the table. You have a small, narrow, it's 20 inches, 20 inch by 36 inch deployment zone in the middle, driving into the center of the board for the attackers, and 2 lava beds to either side. Now, I think this is meant to be multiple players. I think this is meant to be a very big game. The defenders get a couple of cannons, 4, and they have to keep those online as long as they can. And then the enemy, the attackers have free respawns. Any detachments that have been completely destroyed, when you have, at the start of a turn, if you have 3 or more attachments that have been destroyed, you can bring them on as a new formation. It gets no special formation rules. They're only grouping it into a formation for the purposes of tallying breakpoints. But, yeah. And then there's a lava bed. There's, aside from that narrow corridor, so that's like a bridge coming on, 20 inches. You've got a 16-inch wall of lava to cross. So you're all coming in from one direction, and then you've got the defenders coming on the left, right, and center for you to attack. Looks interesting, looks fun. I don't have a 10 by 6, 120 inches by 72 inches, but you gotta play on that size table to make these dimensions all work. So I definitely want to too. It's going to be a huge game. So the rest of the earlier part of the article is talking about so the Escalation League. Oh man, I should Escalation League. If you've never heard of that or played one, they do it in 40K. You'll get a bunch of people and they'll say, all right, we're playing a 500-point game right now. 500-point games. And maybe you do that for a week, a month, you do that for a set amount of time, and then the next, it escalates to the next points level, and you've increased by 750, you've increased to 750, you increase to 1,000 points, you keep going up in steps. There's no hard rules on those. People added that in to, organizers will add that in to make it fun, give a chance for you to grow your army. It lets you start a new one. I'm kind of in a somewhat Escalation League. I think we titled it a gene pool, where actually everyone starts at the small side, and then when you win, you go up to the next level, and that level, so it's a triangle, a pyramid, and you're fighting to the top, and at each level, each tier, you increase how many points you have. That's fun. I do that for 40K. But this is meant to be games in a row. They don't have to be played all in one day. And it kind of reads like teams of player battle over several mission cycles. So it's not you're gonna have a loyalist side and a traitor side, and you can have more players on each side, and then you'll pair off, match up, however you want to do it. So it's and it says 2 or 3 games long, with then flashpoint missions in between. So they're not calling those games, but they are games, right? You know, unless it's like, all right, play a card game and to determine who wins the flashpoint mission. Little side quests. And those give you perks for the next match, maybe for more of the match. They got a few of them here. You know, you can choose one of them. Whoever wins gets to give an entire formation forward deployment. For one of them, you win a bombardment, artillery bombardment that you can use the start of every turn. Not the start of, during the first fire phase. So that's cool. Lots of, you know, we love getting upgrades and to our units. And man, they've got 3 new. The book's gonna have the Rise of the Dark Mechanicum is going to also have, so it's got that. It's got the Escalation, and then it's going to have 3 new formations. One of them is for Dark Mechanicum. Whether the other 2 are for Mechanicum, or you get one for Marines and one for Solar, who knows? I mean, they're really spacing those out. We've got 3 for Solar. We've got 3 for Space Marines, and we've got 2 for Solar now. The Solar ones are split between Loyalist and Traitor, and then the Space Marine ones are split between Loyalist, Traitor, or either side, and then they're also divided into your Legion. So you've got Iron Hands, Iron Warriors, and Alpha Legion can be on either side. And they're 6 months apart. Man, I can't wait to see the other ones, but taking a bit of time with that. But yeah, no, so it really, really cool stuff. I don't know how I'm going to do it. They're probably going to be showing off more stuff for this book all week, or at least over the next 2 weeks until the book comes out. I mean, you know, that's how you got to keep that hype train going so that everyone wants to get the book. I don't know how I'll put in, maybe I'll do a little miniature video. I just thought today I'd tag it into Grey Penance and show you guys these Malcadors. So let's talk about that. I have finished another box unit of models. I haven't bought anything since last time, although that's about to change. So I need to probably move faster. I'm not moving very fast, but they look great. I love them. I might be putting way too much detail into little tiny tanks that we're going to be looking at from afar. But I live with these little tanks. You know, they're in my home. I see them quite often. They're in my office. And I get to look at them a lot closer, and I want them to look good for me. And it might take a little bit longer to do that, and so be it. But I think they look amazing. And I'm gonna take the camera here and I'll show you up close and personal what they look like. But and you know, maybe throw some pictures in here. So this is a new one, and this is my old ones, and you can't tell. You know, these were made months apart from one another. The only real difference is, and that's garbage footage. So I'll take pictures. Is the squadron markings. So yeah, let me show you these up close. So the total kit took me, all 4 of these took me about 1 hour and 4 minutes to build, and that was, you know, they're nice, they're easy. The hardest part about building them is, and they kind of got stuck. Never mind, I was able to move these. They all kind of got stuck where they are, the last cannon turrets, probably from the wash that I put on them. I didn't keep them moving after that. So if you want those turrets to move and you paint them and you put a nice wash in there, it's probably going to get in between all that, gunk it up, and make it difficult to move. If I grab right there instead of the guns, I'll be able to get more leverage on that and move it without breaking the turret. But I don't want to do that. So as you can see here, I've got these, all of these have the las cannon turret. The hardest part about building these is deciding how you want to load them. there are 36 combinations for weapons for the Malcadors. And then you've got the two specialist Malcadors, the Valdor and the Infernus. Infernus? That can't be the right name. Infernum? That's not the right name. I don't remember what it's called. But you've got 3 turret weapons, you've got 4 hull-mounted hull weapons, and you've got 3 of the, did I say turrets? 3 sponsons, 3 turrets, 4 hull-mounted weapons. And any combination, most combinations are probably going to be fine, right? Depending on how you use them. All las cannon, and here we have all las cannons. Can't go wrong with that. It shoots tanks, right? And here we have heavy bolter sponsons, heavy bolter on the hull mount, and the twiddling las cannon, or the Malcador las cannon turret there on the front. And that's lots of point defense on the turrets, so I could drive this forward. I could move it, fire the point defense at vehicles, at infantry, and then in its actual activation, I can shoot the las cannons. Or if I absolutely need to, I can fire all of this during Overwatch and shoot at infantry. And because the las cannon's got 2 shots, that's a better option than the other 2 turrets I could use, the Vanquisher or the battle cannon, right? So that's why I went with this one. It's anti-infantry. It's good anti-infantry. It's not. It's a lot of numbers. It's not the same as using the autocannons. Would be better anti-infantry just for hitting power and the AP. I'd want to use those and a little bit of anti-tank, but it doesn't have the dice numbers, so it's not going to be as good as this, and it doesn't have point defense. So I went with this one for my anti-infantry. And then I went with these guys over here for anti-tank. But if the option comes down to it, what the las cannon turret does better than the Vanquisher turret, the Vanquisher cannon turret with the armor bane, it's going to, it really punches, it really, forces that reroll, and on things that have a better armor save, if I remember correctly, things with a better armor save, it's better against, whereas things with a worse armor save, the extra dice on the las cannons just makes it better, because they weren't going to pass that armor save anyway. But what this really does good against is void shields, shooting at Titans. Vanquisher cannon doesn't do anything extra against the Titan void shield, so you fire these guys at the Titans first to get rid of their shields. And the reason I went with these 2 options, A, so I have some anti-infantry and anti-tank, but B, if you put all 4 of them together, it's not terrible, right? It can still do the exact same job. It just drives forward, shoots fire your point defense, either as part of your move or as your split fire, and then everything else goes into tanks or infantry. If I could, I would probably get at least 2 more of those, and then maybe this is enough las cannons for most things. Maybe get more of these, but maybe not. Maybe get some with Vanquishers, and then I'm not going to make another, I don't think I'll make another video for Malcadors, so I'll just tell you about this now. But my plan for these, 36 different weapon combinations. What I decided to do was, we've got 4 different hull mounts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have I'm going to have 4 different variants of Malcadors. I'm going to have one with each hull mount, be it the las cannon or the heavy bolter, the autocannon, and then the demolisher cannon. So my autocannon loadout is going to be autocannon, battle cannon for the turret, and then the hull mount, the demolisher cannon is going to be demolisher cannon, and then I'm stuck between either las cannon to make this a very heavy hitting tank that just gets, you know, a little bit heavier than a las cannon here, but the heaviest option here, and then the Vanquisher cannon. Or I'll go with the heavy bolter just in case. So the reason I'm kind of stuck between the two is the Demolisher cannon can take out buildings. I wouldn't want to necessarily use this. It's an expensive tank, right? You're paying 80 points to destroy a building, and you need at least 2 just to do enough wounds to destroy the building. So you need 4 or more to actually have a chance to destroy the building, because you're going to miss half your shots. I would build that loadout as a 4 Malcador detachment in case I need to destroy the building, but I don't think I want to use it explicitly to destroy the building. So the heavy bolters either reinforces my ability to deal with infantry, or the las cannons to focus in on the fact that it's going after other tanks. It's meant to be a tank killer, or Titan killer with those Vanquisher cannons. But yeah, and then finally, so I changed these guys because they'll ride together or separate. You know, maybe they're not all in the same detachment all the time, but they are at least supporting this. They are at least supporting them, you know, providing the anti-infantry to their anti-tank. You know, they're you know, same squadron with just different roles. I gave them this 2 stripe squadron markings, and then these are the original ones, which you can't really tell much of a difference. You know, I did the paint job well. They just have the 1, and you will notice that it's autocannon, battle cannon, demolisher cannon. Originally, I thought that would be a great loadout. I'm not liking it as much for this new plan going forward. I'm going to rip off that demolisher cannon, and I'm going to put an autocannon on it. Yeah, and there's, you know, maybe this is the wrong loadout. The battle cannons aren't a great loadout for Malcadors, because what does the battle cannon do that anything else doesn't do better? Not much, nothing even. But I have it. I can't rip that out. I didn't magnetize these. I didn't want to magnetize these. I can move them a little bit. See, they get stuck. They just, on their own, they'll just get stuck. So that's why I'm not even going to bother with the las cannon. Unstucking the las cannon. They re-stick themselves. It just is what it is. But yeah, so those are my Malcadors so far. I don't have any more, which means I can't get any more because I have agreed not to, I've vowed not to get anything new unless it's one of these battle groups that are going to be temporary and not exist forever. So, so this is what I've got for now. And, you know, with their speed and their weapon, their volume of shots that they have, I think these are going to go great with, I think these are going to go great for that new Escalation campaign, where I can bring them back in, race them up the field, get them back into the fight, and try to knock something down. Yeah, let me know what you think. How have you outloaded your Malcadors? I want to hear it. Comment below. I hope everyone has a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all back real soon. This has been Eagle Spire Gaming. Thanks for flying by.